Guess who's back? Back again. It's not Eminem. It's me. Hello. If you recall, I asked you guys if you wanted to hear a story about how I got accused of witchcraft at work. And if you said no, well, continue scrolling. Don't click on this. If you said yes, but I have a short attention span, the moral gist or whatever is that I know people in other departments only through the phone, and they ask me questions that I answer, and vice versa. So, bye bye. Have a nice doom scroll. And if you want to hear the longer version, then here it is, because it was a rhetorical question when I asked anyway, and I'm going to tell the story on my channel. Thank you. Let's get into it. There are several characters that you need to be aware of. We got Isun, the guy in the other department that asked me questions that I answer. We have Siren, our main character. Newly dubbed Sleepy, our side character but besties with Siren. And then we have Miss No Voice, a lady who has no voice. Okay? And she only makes an appearance for 5 minutes. Okay? Let's start this. Once upon a time, in a large rectangular room, kind of set up like AutoZone, but kind of not. There are shelves down every aisle that have a lot of stuff on it for inventory, hardware kind of stuff. And there are motion sensor lights that are all turned off because nobody went back there for a while. And if there's really any indication of something in that room that doesn't seem right, it's when a motion sensor light turns on by itself, which one did that same day. Yet I got accused of witchcraft. Oh, I forgot to tell you about Girly Pop. She's gonna get a story for another day, but she makes an appearance for sure. Anyways, Girly Pop comes up to me and says, "Hey, call up Beeson and get some things taken care of because, we can't take care of this and he can, blah, blah." That's when I make an acknowledgement that Siren is switching departments by saying, well, why doesn't she call him? Why doesn't Siren call up Beeson? And then I said, oh, never mind. I guess I'll do it. Girly Pop goes, that was weird, but yeah, you do it. You like talking on the phone. I do not like talking on the phone. I'm the most awkward person on the phone. Sometimes I forget to click the end call button. But they don't see it as a negative. They see it as a positive so that they don't have to talk on the phone. Anyways, Siren turns around in shock. She looked at me like, how did you know? How did you know? Well, a week before that, Eason told me. He said, how do you feel like she does as the best person in your department? And I said, best is too generous, but she is like she works. Do you want the good or my actual opinion? The good opinion or my actual opinion? He said, give me both, but give me the good opinion first. And luckily, this was before calls were recorded and monitored for quality and training purposes. I said, for the good one, oh yeah, she works. She minds her own business. Kind of. And then I said the bad one is that, getting her to work is, her name has to be on it, and you better not ask her to switch a schedule for school because she hates that, and she also hates micromanaging, but she goes to the micromanaging department anyway. I'm not sure how she likes it over there, but, I think that we'll probably be seeing her back soon. That's just my opinion. Unless if she really likes the occasional, work from home deal. Either way, I said, like you might have a hard time getting her to do things after her 20 phone calls a day. She'll come in for overtime for sure, like, and just stare at you. But then, like, if you ask her to do something, that's a different story because you're asking her to do something and you're not her boss, so she doesn't want to do it. He said, I don't know how I feel about that. I guess we'll see when she comes over. I said, okay, bet. Bye, Easton. He said, bye, and then ended the phone call. So then, whatever needed to be taken care of that Girly Pop asked me to take care of, it was done and over with. It was no more. It disappeared. But little did I know I was still being shocked and stared at and gasped, how did she know? So Siren starts talking to newly dubbed Sleepy, and they were going through the catalog before she took her leave because that was her last day. And the catalog before she took her leave was, I don't know why she's being so mean to me. I don't know why she suddenly changed her tune. Like it was really entitled of her to ask me to change the schedule because she's going to school. What would they do if I came back in here with a degree and got a different job? Would they come tell me to come crawling back? Would they tell me to change my schedule for someone else? Would somebody else even change their schedule for me? And I was just looking at her like, they'd replace you. It's a company. It's not all that. Just do your job description and leave. Now, most employers would hate hearing that, but it's the truth. Just do your job description and leave. And newly dubbed Sleepy's like, bet. Good point, because they'd be asking me to do that same crap, and I'm not doing it because it's very entitled of anybody to ask you to change your schedule because they're going back to school. And then she accused me that I was going to come up to her personally and ask to change schedules because I'm going back to school. And that I knew she would say no, so I never did. I never asked her. Plus, my schedule would not involve asking her because we worked 2 different shifts. And the last person who did was still like called entitled. And newly dubbed Sleepy is just hyping her. Yeah, that's right. It's entitled. Entitlement for me. And he sits in the corner on his phone, like half asleep. And if you move too fast for him, he won't do anything. So I've had to play the slow game for a while of, hey, I'm going to do this thing that's on the assignments, and then I am going to do this other thing. Okay? Hopefully you don't have those things. But he won't listen, and he'll still try to think the thing that you're doing, which is highly annoying. And then he'll claim, oh, well, you just don't work. And that's the thing that I hate hearing because I personally got their numbers up for a whole entire year. A whole entire year where they had me on one thing consistently and got mad when I asked to be on another thing. So I've been dealing with he who shall not be named until this other time, someone I didn't mention in the beginning. So then, at some point, I'm up in the front and I'm sorting out something for, one of the shipments I was doing. And Miss No Voice comes in the picture. Why are you in my area? Why are you in my bubble? And I was like, I'm not in your bubble. I am halfway down the desk. It's a shared desk. So she thought I was in her bubble, but I was not in her bubble. Yes, you are in my bubble. Well, somebody asked her a question that she could have found the answer to easily, and it was like, you could have just clicked a couple buttons and found out yourself. Mind your business. Mind your business. Now I'm hearing chuckling in the background, and it's because there are two people called Siren and newly dubbed Sleepy not minding their business. And at this point, I'm not exactly hearing what they're saying, but it's an intermittent talk about her moment. And so then I loudly said back to Miss No Voice, I'm in everybody's business if you are loud enough. I have good hearing. Talk quieter if you don't want me in your business. Well, the chuckling at the side of the rectangle got quieter. The two people that were laughing and saying something about me because I was being mean to them got quieter. So that was a little suspicious. And Miss No Voice again said, mind your business. So I was like, okay, well, I'll mind my business then, but I say everything like this to everybody. She was like, oh, you always got something to say. And then we left it at that. Well, it turned out that the conversation at the side died down a little bit. I went back to doing my business about, and then, getting told by Girly Pop to do like 20 other things at once. And then I came back up, and then they started looking at me again, Siren and newly dubbed Sleepy. And they said, I don't know why she's being so mean to me. Like, there's something wrong with her today. And newly dubbed Sleepy goes, she has an internal demon. She's got to get herself right. She's fighting something on the inside. I just know it. And that's why she's being so weird today. That's why she's being so weird towards us today. And then Siren replies, it must be witchcraft. Because how did she know? How did she know? I don't know how she knows that I'm switching. I never told her. Okay, well, first of all, if you were talking out loud like that, and then you get quieter and you try to pick on me throughout the day, I can still hear you. My hearing is good. I passed my hearing test with flying colors. I can still hear like I am 15 years old. And I'm not. So be quiet. I need a hearing aid that turns everything down. I can hear when people are counting metal screws at the front end when I'm in the back. So if you are going to talk quieter. Better yet, talk when you are leaving the building or when I'm at lunch. If you got something to say, don't say it in the same room as me because I can still hear you. The only way I can't is when the room is soundproof. So when you walk in and you close the door, and I can't hear through that door, and I can't hear if I have a glass on the wall through that door, then you're safe. But if you are screaming, laughing, blah, 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 look at her, she's got an eternal demon, blah, then I know, especially if you're staring at me, that you are saying something about me. So she looked at me and said, it must be witchcraft. You're doing the witchcraft. And newly dubbed Sleepy said, that's right. Because she's got to go down her holy righteous path to fight this demon. And get off the witchcraft. But instead of thinking of the possibility that last week before that, Eason had me on the phone asking the opinion, we jump straight to witchcraft, as if that makes sense. So, that is the story about how I got accused of witchcraft at work. And the moral of the entire story is don't be like Siren and talk about somebody in the same room as them, acting as if you can't hear them. Thank you for listening if you made it this far. Good night. Have a good day, night, something or other. Have a good whatever game you're playing. I'll see you all next time for the next story time.